Hey y'all, welcome back to Homesteadin In The City. I'm Zach, and today we're gonna go on a short garden tour. We're gonna end up here at the garden propagation station, but we're gonna start off in the front yard. So first off, right up against the house, we've got some more elderberry that's popping up here, and I've pinched this off to try to spur some more growth, and I've put a lot of the cuttings up in the propagation station, which we'll see at the end. Mostly in the front, I'm just trying to let it grow wild. We threw out some pollinator seeds, like wildflower seeds, and then a lot of this was just, you know, what was already in the ground. Right now, it doesn't look like much, but these dandelions and spiderworts in the mornings, especially on a cooler morning these days, they look really great. And we've got our little pallet raised bed is doing well. I think I might need to water these guys, but they're doing pretty decently. We've got a couple of cucumbers, tomatoes, sunflower, and basils in here. So I might have it a little overplanted, but we'll see. So of course we've got our wood chip paths, which I don't know if I've posted a video about this yet, but I did try to inoculate these with some wine cap mushroom spawns. And so hopefully that'll take, and we'll be able to harvest some mushrooms out of them. I know right now we do have a fungus growing in it. Here's some, I think it's called like dog vomit fungus, something like that. It's I've seen it before in the garden. It's nothing to worry about. Got a little more right there. Over here got trimmed up some, had a lot of poison ivy down in here I had to get rid of. This is gonna be the future home, hopefully, of some pawpaw trees. It's the lowest point in the yard, and so should collect a lot of water. And then we've also got some shade from these Japanese camellias and cherry laurels, which eventually, especially the Japanese camellias, I want to take out because it is not a native. And then the cherry laurel, eventually I'll take that out. But for the early part of our pawpaw's life, we want it to be shaded, so hopefully that will help them grow. And then alongside the pawpaw, I hope to be growing up this loquat. So that's been in the ground for a little while. It doesn't look great, but it's still alive. And then right here we've got some of our native strawberries. So I just put that in there, not anticipating a harvest this year, but I want to let it grow out and become as much of a ground cover as possible around here, and eventually propagate it out and put elsewhere. All right, now over here in my berry hedge, look at these berries that I just noticed now. That's good and tart, but still a little sweet. So we've got our dewberry growing up right there. That was there when we moved in. Now what I did add was some of our elderberry. Put one there and one over there from the plants that we just saw a minute ago. I'm gonna try to grow some of them along, like this brick wall is like the neighbor's yard, kind of the property line. We've also got right here, I believe this is some of my Sea Island red pea. I threw out a lot of them around here just to see if any would take, and figure that would be the hardiest ones. I think I've seen a few. I think that's some more right there. Oh, this looks like a melon. I think I threw out some watermelon seeds too, or maybe cucumber. Whatever it is, they're coming up. And coming up the rain garden, it looks like Percy might come join us. Hey Percy. Percy, you want to be on the vlog? No, Percy wants to go play in the front yard. But Percy can't go play in the front yard, can he? This is a bag of fertilizer I found under the house. I have no idea what it is. I doubt that it's actually safe to put around food. I'll have to find out more about it. Okay, now up the side of the house, we're back in our rain garden area, and it has been tested a few times since we saw it, and I think it's holding up well. I would like to get out here during a rain to really check it out, but we're starting at the downhill side. We have our muscadine here. I just put a little stake here. I think this was a fishing rod or something. Some little bamboo pole. I'm gonna try to use that as a support as it kind of grows up this wall. And then I just took an old window that was laying around and I put it over because I figured to make kind of a greenhouse over this so it's not getting direct rain. I think that's probably good for muscadines. And then, but it should still get plenty of water because it's at the bottom of our rain garden area. Anyway, so moving up the rain garden area, we've got a lantana that's coming in very strong. Some of the seeds that we've thrown out here are starting to pop up. I see this looks like some kind of melon. I'm not sure what. This is probably some of my Sea Island red peas. I think this is something that was already there. This is some of my dewberry that we left in there. Here's some more of those red peas. And so you can see like where the water has come in and kind of washed through here, but it hasn't really eroded much. So we've managed to slow down the water and kind of fill it up in these little troughs as it comes down to kind of manage that. So I think it's doing well. Got I think another lantana here, and then the elderberry that we planted in seems to be doing well. All right, now on the side of the house, I've just got a few of my seed starts and trees under the eaves, and we've got some of our Sea Island red peas over here that I put in soil blocks. And then I'm gonna plant those out soon and probably give away a few of those. We've got our persimmon trees that I might keep in here for this summer, maybe up pot them. Oh, hey Percy. What is it? Is it a very important message? Anyways, next we've got some tomatoes that definitely need some water. I'm gonna get it before I even do the next clip. And then little elderberry that popped up beside one of our bigger ones. Went ahead and put it in this pot. Gonna use it as a little gift. So that's one of the goals around here. We wanna try to grow as much food and other plants as we can so that we can give it away to other people and friends. Well, since I needed to water some tomatoes, might as well go over my rainwater system. Now right now I don't have much in this little tote here because we used up most of it and we need some more, so it's mostly in the barrel so that the mosquitoes don't get to it. So I'm just going to use that to fill up this chafing dish, and then this is a perforated one that the seedlings are in, and then I'll just be able to lower that one with the seedlings into the other one, and then we can bottom water that way. Percy, you like this water? So you're seeing now too why I use this tote. It takes a minute for pitchers to fill up from the faucet. But if I'm using the tote, if it's full of water, I can just dip it in there and fill it up. But I'm good now. That's it, Percy. Should be enough. Yes. Now that water can come up from the bottom, and they'll soak that up. So we'll come back in a little bit and check on them. All right, after a brief detour, and please excuse the AC noise, we are at the pallet bed. I don't really love this bed. I kind of put it together hastily. I may actually take it apart at the end of this season and redo it with some others, because I'm thinking I want to do kind of 4 of these raised beds in a square to go by the in-ground beds. Things are doing okay in here. We've got cucumber, tomato, some carrots here. I'm not really looking to harvest them, but I'm just going to see if they can maybe go to seed and get some extra seed out of that. And then I've got my trash trellis back there, literally just some pieces of metal that I found on the side of the road a few years ago that we'll try to grow some of those up. Now to the earth boxes, they're doing pretty decently. I've been using them a lot for my propagations and rootings, and like here's one of the elderberries and it's putting off some new growth, so I think that strategy might work. I figure it's a good way to keep the soil moist without too much work, which is usually good if you're trying to root new things. We've got an onion, looks like it's going to seed here. That'll be cool to try to grow. We've got our cilantro that is pretty close to being able to harvest those seeds. This was the best cilantro that grew in the earth box from last winter, so I'm just going to try to take the seeds from that and try to grow them out again. Now over in the green stalk, it is doing quite well. I've got some lettuce down in here that I'm gonna let go to seed. I've got a lot of cucumber, tomato, and basil. Actually, not a lot of cucumber, but a lot of tomato and basil in here. It's doing quite well. Also, several of my Sea Island red peas also doing very well in here. I've got everything crowded in. I've never used a green stalk before. I'm just kind of seeing how it goes, and I'm also using the green stalk as a little propagation station as well. I've got some lavender and rosemary and citronella, some elderberry, several things going in here, so we'll see if they take off. Here are my loquat trees growing in pots. This one's doing the best, but they're all doing okay except for this guy that I accidentally pinched off. And then this right here is a pot that has a lot of loquat seeds in it. The other day, April and I went separately, but on the same day, to the same loquat tree and picked several, and we both saved the seeds. So we want to plant those new seeds to try to grow more trees like this, and in several years we should have a whole forest of loquats ready to pick from and give away to friends and all that fun stuff. And then here at the brick raised bed, it's just been kind of a hodgepodge. This was so full of these cherry laurels when we moved in that I've just kind of trimmed it as I could. Finally got it down to this, but I've had a few things that I throw in here from time to time. We've got our fennel there. We've got some garlic that I put every once in a while. Oh, I did get some lemongrass. I put that in a few places. I'm gonna try to grow that out for to help with pest control. Now I've got my one loquat in the ground over there, and then our mint is doing well. This is actually a mint plant that I bought in the spring of 2020 and have been growing it and propagations from it ever since. So this came from our old house, and I'm going to try to grow that out all over here as well. And over here it looks like the mulberry is doing decently. The little root pod that I had up here, it didn't work at all, and so I just cut my losses on that one, snipped it off there, and I'm trying it on another one of these new shoots. I'll see if it works. If it doesn't, that's okay. I'll just use this remaining one as kind of the leader for the bush as we grow it out another year. And then back in the what's going to be kind of the food forest area, maybe, we've got our compost pile, which of course is where we want the chickens eventually. Nothing new going on there. We've got a little bit more brush piled up back in this area because did some more trimming along the fence line to kind of open this area up. Like I've said before, this is kind of where we want to put the future chicken run. Around here right now we've got a ton of cherry laurels. Now I had topped all these off in the winter and they're putting off a ton of new growth. And then over here we've got a black cherry, so I'm gonna grow that out. I'm gonna try to make some syrups or something from this one, because I've read that you can make some good stuff from that. I've put in these paths through this area. it's really just a ton more of this cherry laurel, a little bit of crepe myrtle. We do have some more elderberry back here along the fence line. We've got it back there, as well as over here. This is the one that's putting off the most growth. I've pruned this a few times to get some cuttings to try to root, but I think I'm gonna leave it at this now and let this grow out the rest of the growing season, and then take these bigger cuttings this coming winter and try to grow those out for next year. And then I think I'm gonna maybe even cut these down to lower, so that next year, as the new growth is coming out and grows 3 to 5 feet high, however high it's gonna go, it's starting down here so that I can reach in there and not have to go all the way up here. But we'll see, that may change. And then this area has just kind of turned into an experimental area. I've thrown out a lot of stuff. This is another, I guess, stun area, the sheer total and utter neglect. Really all I'm doing here is pulling out weeds and invasives, so like the English ivy, cherry laurel, stuff like that. And then, but I've thrown out, you know, melons, cucumbers, got fennel, different flowers, got the red peas, got some sunflowers. Just seeing kind of whatever will grow in here. And then really just observing the land a lot this year, and we'll make longer term plans probably this winter going into the following growing season. Alright, and then right here around our in-ground beds, I've got these are just some plastic pots that I filled up with compost, then threw a ton of different seeds in here. I'm anticipating, you know, in the summer this just being overflowing with stuff, but I don't even remember what all I put. I think some more fennel, peas, chamomile, yeah, I don't even remember everything in here, but we'll see what pops up. And my in-ground beds, I don't think they're doing that great. I wasn't anticipating much. This is basically just growing in the soil that was already there. My red peas here are doing okay, but they do well in bad soil. Got a couple other things going. The pepper from last summer, looks like we're getting a few flowers on it, so we might get some peppers out of that before too long. And then we've got our black-eyed Susan, but I think these will probably just I think maybe get taken out at the end of this growing season, and kind of we'll probably redo this whole area, but I'm gonna visit that in a future video. All right, so finally we are here at the fountain propagation station. One of the things that was cool about this is I finally got one of my elderberries to grow a lot of roots, and I did take a picture. I don't think I have video. It turned out with them, unsurprisingly, the secret was keeping the roots dark. I had a lot kind of going up here in the top. They haven't really worked out well. I say that and I pull one out and it's got these roots growing on it. So maybe it would have just taken patience, but it did better in the dark. So I've got a ton of that elderberry down in here, some of my other aquatics. My chamomile is doing very well. Then I've got like my mint in there with my Boba Fett. Got another mint in there. So these are mostly elderberries. We've got a little bit of blueberry mixed in here too. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Now, we're still working on finding all of the leaks around here and kind of patching them up. Once we get it kind of good and sealed in, I'll be able to. This filter gets clogged, or the pump gets clogged a lot. Once we get the leaks patched up, we'll probably put some fish in here to add to that ecosystem, and just add some more plants in here, try to get some frogs going. Which, you know what? This might be some frog spawn right here. Y'all, I'm not an expert by any means, but can you tell me, is this frog eggs? If so, that would be excellent. That's exactly what we were trying to get. So let me know in the comments if you recognize what this is, if you're still watching. All right, y'all, that's all for today. Thanks for visiting. We're gonna try to work on getting more content out in the future, both doing our own garden tours, and we've got a few visits to some friends in the near future. So I really enjoyed April's visit to Leanne to learn about pineapples, and I hope that y'all enjoyed it. The viewership numbers say you did, but I think it's cool to highlight what other gardeners are doing around our city and around our region, and hope that maybe we can learn from them, you can learn from them, and that we can all inspire each other to grow cooler gardens. Well, we still don't have a sign off, so see y'all next time. Almost forgot the tomatoes, but it looks like they've perked up some. Maybe a few are still wilted. They definitely soaked up all that water that was coming through. So we'll see how these guys make it. See y'all next time.